better for you to be oppressed than for you to be the oppressor. Because being the oppressor on the day of judgment, brothers, wallahi, that's like the Prophet said, that's darkness. So for me, brothers, I'd rather someone slap me in the face, wallahi, be real with you. I'd rather someone spit on me. I'd rather someone do whatever. And I really, really, really just would rather just take my reward in the day of judgment. Because this is not a joke. Does that make sense? And more time when you get angry, bro, you know what? You only get angry because you think you're something. You respect yourself. You hold yourself in high esteem. The reality is, bro, you know, there was an imam from the Salaf, and he saw a man called Al-Muhallab, and he was a king. His name was Muhallab, he was a king. And he saw him walking. Like, you know how some of the brothers, they bop. They walk in a very arrogant kind of way. You know when you walk and you think, you walk like you're a bad man, basically. Like you're something, yeah? So he was walking in that kind of way. So this imam, he stopped him. And he said, listen, you see the way that you're walking right now? He said, Allah hates this kind of walk. Allah despises it. Allah hates for you to walk in this way. This guy, Muhallab, is a king. So he looks at him and he says, do you know who I am? Have you got any idea who you're talking to? That's exactly how a guy would respond, right? He thinks he's something, do you know who I am? You must not know who I am, bro. That was his response. And the imam looked at him and he said, yeah, I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you are. Your beginning was what? Seminal fluid. That's how you started off. Seminal fluid, bro. Filthy. If I get it on my hands, I'm going to wash my hands through it straight away. Your ending is going to be eaten up by worms. Worms and maggots are going to eat your body. And in between the seminal fluid and the worms, you were a vessel for carrying filth, crap, and urine. That's who you are. That's who you are. And the guy got humbled. Thing is, you have to remember, bro, literally, wallahi, that's all you are, bro. You just carry feces, bro. Like, how do you think you're something? You have to understand, bro, you came from seminal fluid, bro. Like, you have to deep that for a minute. Bro. You came from seminal fluid. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And you're going to be eaten by worms. Worms eat what? They eat filth. The flies go and hang around like diamond gold bars. Do they? Flies go hang around filth, feces, crap. Worms and maggots eat crap. Don't really mean you. Wallahi, really and truly, we're worm food. We are worm buffet. That's what we are. We're a buffet for the worms. Why? Worms and maggots don't go eat lovely roses and daffodils. Bro, they eat humans. At the end of the day, we're nothing. We're worthless. And between that, bro, 2-3 times a day, bro, you use your own hand, bro, to clean your own feces. Bro, you're not much. You're not much, bro. You're not anything at all. So why are you getting angry for yourself? Don't get it twisted. The Prophet ﷺ would get angry, but never for himself. He was spat at, he was beaten, he was attacked and dragged in the streets, to the point where sometimes he would be beaten unconscious. And he would always just smile at them, ask Allah to forgive them or guide them. But if Allah was violated, if Allah's rights and His boundaries were violated, the Prophet would become angry. That's real. That's what it's about, bro. That's real slavery. That's the time we have the time and the right to get anger. Does that make sense? So for us, we think we're something. So number one, we're arrogant. And even past with the atom's weight of pride, the Prophet said he will not enter paradise, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then because of our pride, we lash out on people and we harm them. And then they're going to take extra from us on the day of judgment. So if you harm someone and you know this person's not forgiving you, you need to do as much as you can trying to seek this person's forgiveness, bro. Sorry. You need to do as much as you can trying to seek this person's forgiveness. You need to do as much as you can. And make dua for Allah to change this person's heart. And inshallah, if you're sincere, there's no reason why this person won't change their heart. But imagine the person doesn't change their heart. That's his right. He has the right to not forgive you. That's just the way Allah made it. He has the right to get it back from you on the day of judgment. So then you need to come with as much good deeds as you possibly can, because you're going to have to dish them out on that day. So you don't have time to waste. Does that make sense? I hope that answers your question, Akhi. Yes, Akhi.
Saying see how you talked about how you need to cut off friends?
Yeah.
Still linked to the sin.
Yeah.
Should you try and help them first, or should you cut them straight?
Okay, so the brother asked a question. He said, you know you have to cut off your friends when you're trying to practice or you're trying to repent. So should you just cut them off cold turkey, or should you try to help them? The reality of the matter is, that if you're still friends with these people, then that person who's friends with them needs help first. So how can he help someone else when he himself needs help? That's why I have a friend of mine, okay, after Ramadan, he came onto Deen hardcore, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to get my friends onto Deen. So he went into the blocks where they were, and after spending a couple of hours with them, he came out high as a kite. What happened? He repented in Ramadan. But bro, he wasn't ready. Some of us, some of us, we're trying to be like the candle. Don't be like the candle, bro. Some of us, we're trying to be like the candle. You know what the candle does? The candle gives light for everyone else, but it burns itself out. Don't do that. Don't try to be the candle that shines for everyone else, but in the process, you die out. Your own heart dies. But save yourself first. Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, qu anfusakum. Save yourself first, then your family from the hellfire. But save yourself first, bro. Save yourself first. Sometimes, bro, you have to spend years before you can go back and chat to your friends. Okay, one day going back to the Maki and you'll come out finished. You have to save yourself, bro. You have to be selfish here. You know what I mean? And then you go back in and you bring them in. Hope that answers the question. Anyone else? Yes, okay.
You said like you have to get your stuff from the
Have to what?
You have to get your knowledge from the Salaf.
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference between a scholar and the Salaf? Like, what's the difference between their authority?
Okay, so the brothers asked a good question. So what's the difference between an imam from the Salaf and a scholar? So even when you talk about the Salaf, you're talking about scholars from the Salaf.
Yeah.
Right? So there are scholars who are from the Salaf, and then there are scholars who follow the scholars from the Salaf. Do you understand? So when you quote Ibn Baz and Ibn Uthaymeen, these are scholars who are on the path of the Salaf. So they got virtue in that they're scholars following the Salaf, but they don't have the virtue of the scholars from the Salaf. Because those were the ones the Prophet ﷺ specifically told us to follow. But those who are upon the path of the Salaf today, they are the ones who will unlock the keys to the path of the Salaf for you in the first place. So you can't ever get to the path of the Salaf without the scholars of today, who are on that path in the first place. Does that make sense? Good. Go on. How long would Allah take to accept your repentance? Bro, it depends on your heart. The Prophet said, how long, this is a serious question, how long would it take for Allah to accept your repentance? Prophet, it depends on your heart. You know, this is a very important point, and I really want you guys to understand this, yeah? Sometimes we've done sins that are so bad that we have to go through pain and suffering in life for those sins to be removed. Sometimes Allah will send you to jail. I know brothers who changed their life, not one, not two, I know many who changed their life and they still went to jail after they left. Why? Because that jail time is a means of their sins being washed away. Because the Prophet ﷺ said a believer doesn't ever get pricked by a thorn except that some of his sins are removed, or if he's got no more sins, he gets good deeds. So now if a brother, he changed his life, he still goes to jail. What? It's because his sins are being washed away. He changed his life, but he still gets rushed. Why? I changed my life. But you had a bit too many sins, so Allah was just washing it away for you. He's just washing it away for you. And that's the whole wisdom behind why a person who he fornicates, why he gets lashed 100 times. And so the sin gets washed away. And this is the wisdom behind why the Prophet ﷺ used to never ask for a sudden death. He used to say, I don't want a sudden death. Some people think, you know what? It's bad when you see someone suffering at the time of death. No, it's a good sign. You know, if you see a person in the time of death and he's got so much pain, that's because the sins are being washed away, bro. Just before he dies, the sins are going away. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. His sins are being washed away. Does that make sense? So it depends, bro. But you can come with a heart. You can come with a heart that's so regretful, that's so sincere, that's so heavy in repentance, that Allah doesn't even have to put you through any of that. Allah will just forgive you there and then. That can happen as well. But it depends on your heart. But sometimes we don't come with that real quality of repentance. So Allah, He aids us. He might make you sick, give you cancer. He'll aid you by what? Send you to jail. He'll aid you, you might get stabbed. He'll aid you, you might get rushed. He'll aid you, you might go homeless. He'll aid you, you might lose your money. He'll aid you by going through some pain. And through that, Allah will use it as a means to not have to punish you in the day of judgment. He'll use that as a means to not have to punish you in the grave. Does that make sense? But brothers, we have a merciful Rabb. Because there were companions of the Prophet ﷺ who were murderers. And there were companions of the Prophet ﷺ who were fornicators. And there were companions of the Prophet ﷺ who were alcoholics. And there were companions of the Prophet ﷺ who were what? They were kuffar. And when they died and Allah took them straight into paradise. Without having to go through no pain. Without having to go through no what? No torture. And if they were tortured, it was not wiping away their sins. It was just giving them increasing rewards. It was just giving them increasing rewards. You know why? Why? Because they came with hearts that were heavy in repentance. Heavy in repentance. So in essence, bro, it's up to Allah when He wants to forgive you. Allah can forgive you right now. Forgive you right now, bro. Just you have to come correct. You have to come correct. Does that make sense? Until he breaks his fast. People think only the dua at the time of iftar is accepted. No, the whole day when you're fasting. Brothers, we have 10-15 minutes left till we have to break our fast. Brothers, spend the next 10-15 minutes just making dua to Allah. First make dua for yourself. Brothers, ask Allah to forgive you. Brothers, let's say you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, you know what? I hear what this guy is saying, but wallahi, he doesn't understand my situation, or life is hard, or I'm in too deep and I'm going to carry on. I have to go back and carry on doing what I'm doing. Just ask Allah to give you the strength to be able to leave that behind. Just ask Allah to open your heart, to make your heart have the energy and the fuel it needs for you to turn back to Him today. Brothers, I want you to come back to Allah today. Today. Today's the day you're going to delete all the girls from your phones. Today's the day you're going to change your life. You got drugs in the house, you're going to flush them down the toilet. If you got any beefs, you're going to squash them today. Brothers, knowledge has to be implemented. Brothers, today's the day. And I believe Allah can open every single one of our hearts right now. So go, each of you, into a separate part of the masjid and ask Allah. Allah will respond. You're fasting, He will respond. You're sincere, He will respond. Does that make sense? Brothers, please scatter into your own parts. Don't talk to anyone. Brothers, don't talk to anyone. Rather, can I ask you to do, I want to teach you a sunnah as well. Brothers, we said we're Salafi out here, right? We're Salafi out here. Have to follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Have to follow the path of the Salaf. The Prophet ﷺ sunnah, as the Sahaba did, to rush to the iftar. To rush to the iftar. The moment he did adhan, you should break it. So what I want you to do is I want you to all grab a date and have it with you. It's from the signs that you're rushing to the iftar that you already have the date. Some people think, this bear is hungry, he's a pig. He's just holding on to the date, he can't handle himself. Wallahi, it's a sunnah, brothers. Hold on to the date, hold it in your hand. Hold it in there. It's a sunnah to rush to the iftar and go into your own part of the masjid. Make dua, be so engrossed in it. Suddenly you will hear,
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sadly, we recently buried a brother who used to come to the masjid. A few months before, another brother got stabbed in the neck and he's dead and buried now. May Allah have mercy on them both. A week before the most recent one, another brother was killed and he was buried. There were those who have been attacked who are alive, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, but they were harmed quite severely. I personally know that I can think from the top of my head right now 3 brothers who have been stabbed, 2 of whom it happened very recently to. I've come into contact with brothers who have in the past stabbed people, brothers in the past who have shot at people, now who have changed and reformed their life. The reason why I'm telling you this is because we're working with kids who no one's been able to get through to them right now. Not the police, not their parents, not their teachers, but alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, they are actually listening to us, okay? These are people who are at risk of being killed or going out there and killing someone. And not just that, not just violence, but we're also dealing with drugs, we're also dealing with many other social ills, things for brothers and also for sisters. But we are in urgent need of real financial support for our projects to carry on. brothers and sisters, to learn more about how you can support us in our fight against crime and our fight against knife crime and drugs and all of these other social and spiritual ills that we're combating on a day-to-day basis, please click on the link below, inshallah ta'ala, and hear about our campaign and donate whatever it is that you can. We give a lot of money to people around the world, but those people, when they die, alhamdulillah, at least they die Muslim. But our kids, when they die here, many of them don't even die Muslim. And if they did die Muslim, they were just barely hanging on, and they died with a lot of sins, having created a lot of corruption that they left behind. So please support our project as much as you can with Allah's permission. Go to the link below for more information. Assalamu alaikum.